Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name's Emma LaFave, and today we're going to be painting a bouquet of sweet peas using a limited palette. So let's get started. Okay, to start off today's video, I wanted to unbox this beautiful palette that I got from Pottery by Eleni. She has some beautiful ceramic palettes that she makes, and I just had to treat myself to one, and believe me, it was a treat. It's gorgeous, and I thought it'd be something inspiring for me to use. And for this video, I wanted to use a limited palette, so I thought the smaller palette would be perfect for that. So the colors I'm putting in are Winsor Lemon. I'm only using 6 colors, so like I said, it's a limited palette. Yellow Ochre, and I'm trying to get a warm and a cool tone of each of the 3 primary colors. Next I have Permanent Rose, which is like my go-to, I guess, cooler red. Then I have Winsor Red. And for our blues, I used Phthalo Turquoise, which is more of like a greeny blue, so a cooler blue. And then lastly, I have French Ultramarine, which is a warmer blue. So having a warm and a cool tone of each is going to help me mix every color that I need to. So here are all the colors that I'm going to be using in my palette, so let's start painting. Okay, so today I am going to be painting a vase full of sweet pea flowers. I got this inspiration from a florist in Toronto. They had a bouquet of them and they're beautiful, so I thought I would paint those as inspiration. And like I said, I'm only going to be using 6 colors for mixing. I'm challenging myself to only use a very limited palette, so I have like a cool and a warm tone of both colors, yellows, reds, and blues, and we're just going to have to mix up these colors. So I was thinking for the sweet peas, we'll stick to pinks. We're going to create some purples, maybe some darker reds, and then obviously green for the stem, which I'm going to have to make as well. So I'm just painting this in my Etchalab Cold Press Watercolor sketchbook. I have my Emma LaFave Craftimo brushes in size 12, size 2, and size 6 round. I'm probably going to start with my size 12, water, paper towel, and we're ready to go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is mix the colors that I want. Okay, so I have my Permanent Rose over here, which I will probably use on its own. And then I'm going to create another spot because I'm going to make a purple. So let's actually, let's mix 2 different purples. So we'll have one with our Phthalo Turquoise mix, which is really pretty. And then we'll have one with our Ultramarine mix, which will make it slightly different. Maybe we'll add more pink to this one, like so. So we have 3 different colors for our flowers, and then we can lighten some up to make different values of them. And then let's get our greens ready. So I'm going to grab some of this, I think this was lemon yellow. Maybe a bit of yellow ochre. Create a couple different greens. Okay, and if you've watched my color mixing chart or some of my color mixing videos, you'll know that different combinations are going to make different shades of these colors. So let's see. For a really bright one, I'm using turquoise and lemon yellow are going to create like a really bright green like that, which I don't necessarily love. I'm going to grab more yellow. So I might add some red to it. To make it a bit more neutral like that. Let's grab some ultramarine here and mix it with our other color. This is going to make kind of like a darkish gray because that yellow ochre is more on the brown side. So let's even add a bit more of our lemon yellow to that. That's a nice dark green there. You can even add a little bit of pink to it, a little bit more blue, make it darker. That's pretty. And then, I'll save that yellow just in case I come up with another green I want to use. But now we can get started. Okay, so sweet peas, when I think of sweet pea flowers, I kind of think of like a butterfly shape. I'm going to start off with a light wash with our pink. So just adding water to that. And it's like these really kind of whimsical shapes. Like every one kind of looks different. So I'm just going to kind of do a funny shape like so. Now I'm going to grab a bit more color and just like tap the bottom, maybe tap the edges. Okay. Let's grab another color. We'll do one kind of next to it. Just doing these kind of like random shapes, almost like a butterfly wing. So it's like smooth on one side and then kind of not jagged, but uneven on the other side. Let's grab a darker color. And they can touch each other and bleed into each other. Like so. Grab some of the other color, just tap it in. Do a really, really light wash of one. Do a really bright wash of one. We're just kind of mixing it up here. I forgot to draw the vase, but it's going to be kind of down this way, so I'm just going to work my way around that. Like there's really, and this is like a loose representation, so I'm not too worried about the shapes necessarily. We'll add a bit more line detail on them after. We're just kind of putting these random shapes everywhere. Having some color bleeds happen. Making it nice and loose. Okay, we can add more darkness. Oh wait, maybe that was the turquoise one, I forgot. You know, just drop in some darker color in some areas. Might even add a little bit of red to one of these. Make it a bit of a darker pink. Take some of that off. Just doing these squiggly kind of shapes. And we will add some, what's it called, stems onto these, which will help them look more like a bouquet of flowers instead of this odd kind of shape. Like it just kind of looks like an abstract piece, doesn't it? And some really light. Okay, I'm actually going to wash this off completely, make sure there's no paint on there, and I might just take some clean water and just kind of go around just so some of them can kind of bleed. Just making some of oh my goodness, my brain. The stems, or not the stems, the petals just kind of fade off a little bit. Just doing some clean water. Sorry if I'm not making sense. This brain of mine. See how there's like a little bit of softness touching some of it, so it looks like it's just a bit more like whimsical, like there's not really a sharp edge to it. Okay, and then I'm going to take my size 2 brush. Actually, I should quickly just kind of sketch out where I'm going to put this vase. Let's do it straight. Just so I have an idea. And then we'll work on that after. Okay. I'm going to grab some of my green, and I'm just going to start. And so see how some of it bleeds there? Because I added some clean water, so some parts will be sharper, some parts will not. Just kind of adding these little stems throughout. So some of them will be sharper, some of them won't be. And it doesn't have to connect to each one, like you don't have to see the connection to each one, but you want to get those little pops of green throughout. That's quite, oh, I keep dropping water. I'm going too fast. Just adding some more here. A little bit of a curl for a stem here. Just kind of make sure they all have some sort of connecting line if you can, just so it doesn't look odd, like they're floating too much. And then even though these don't really have leaves that come off of them, or at least in the picture I'm seeing, I'm going to do some extra little bits of greenery. I'm going to grab a bit more yellow. Look at me contaminating my yellow. What else is new? Maybe mix a bit of that. And I'm just going to do some leaves that are not from the sweet peas, but just to add a bit more greenery to them. And they can be whatever leaves you want. They don't have to be, I'm just mixing all my greens together. They don't have to be accurate to any certain flower, any certain plant, any certain foliage. Just do whatever you like. There's no rules. You know what I mean? Just have fun with it. Grab some more yellow. Grab a little bit of red to neutralize it. Oop, I need more yellow. Even more yellow. I should have put the greenery over by the yellow. And just use the green or the yellow that's right here. Duh. It's fine. A little bit of pink also helps neutralize it. Add a little bit of darkness to some of these leaves. A little bit of a color bleed. Why not? Okay, you can kind of do whatever you want. Have some curving leaves, whatever feels good to you that you think will look good. You could even add different flowers in there, different buds. Okay, there's no rules. Okay, and I know some of them, they're looking a little flat, so we might do another kind of round of petals, I'm thinking. We could do, hold on, let's grab a little bit of purple. Just add it to our green here and get some like darker. Leaves, smaller leaves. Just change it up. Okay. So now I'm going to go back in with some of these colors and just kind of do like another petal. Because the sweet peas kind of have like two petals. They're like butterfly wings almost. They're pretty cool. So we can just do another one kind of overlapping so they look a little bit like there's layers going on. You don't have to do this part. Totally up to you. But it kind of looks cool when you do a little bit of different layers. Some can be a little bit darker. Trying to kind of match up the colors. And then I think once this part is done, we're going to add just some like more delicate lines for a bit more texture to some of these. And I might even grab my green again, and just while some of those areas are wet, just add a little bit of green so there's like a bit of a color bleed into some of the bases of the flowers so it looks like it's connecting. Again, totally optional. And you don't want to have a lot, like, so it takes over the petal. Just a little bit. A little bit of water, a little bit of paint on your brush. Okay. Like that. Okay, so while that's drying, before we finish that, let's do our vase. And I feel like this is such a nice, like, light kind of whimsical piece. Maybe we'll keep it really light. We'll do like a grayish, blue, yellow. No, I don't know. Let's mix some purple and green. That will make like a gray. Can make it even a little bit more on the blue side. So a little bit of purple, a little bit of green, a little bit of blue. And I'm just making it kind of gray. And this is going to be an opaque vase, so we don't see inside. So we don't have to worry about water lines or stems or anything like that. I know some people are interested in learning how to paint glass. I gotta still kind of figure that out. I've kind of figured it out, but not like my strongest point, so. Okay, a little bit more blue, I think. And then I'm just gonna go a little bit darker around the top, around the side, on the bottom. I'm not too worried about making it too detailed. And then a little bit around the back, just like some of those stems are kind of falling into. We might even go over some of them. Let's make this a little bit darker. A little bit darker. Like that. Could do some dry brush to get some texture on there. Like that. And there we go. Okay. So some of these are still kind of wet, but if you wanted to, once it's dry, all you're going to do is just take like your small brush and you're just going to kind of, you can do like little lines, not specifically from any specific part because they're kind of hard to determine what part is what on the sweet pea, but always make them curve, like curve with the shape of whatever petal you're working on. Okay, that's my rule. Okay, curve with the shape of the petal. Never do straight lines. It just doesn't look right. If that makes sense. Yeah, some of these are still wet. It's okay. Okay, but you're just giving it a little bit of texture. Oh, yeah, still wet. And some of these. Okay, you don't have to do all of them. You don't have to make it crazy detailed or anything. This is more of a loose painting. Like that. Okay, and there you go. You can always make it a little bit more detailed if you want, however you want. Okay, don't worry about anything specific. You can add more, add less. A bit more blue, I think, to this. A little bit more texture like that. Oh, and I forgot about some of the stems. You could do more stems coming into the jar from what you see like that. But there, that's basically about it. That is our very whimsical loose sweet pea painting. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye!